All right, here we go. I'm here with Tasha Porter-Kummer of the State Greenville-Pickens Speedway, movement and everything. It's been a while since we've talked. We did a lot of stuff back when the developers were trying to do stuff with it. But what's the latest with it just right now and everything? I know that we've talked a little bit about. I know we talked a little bit about you kind of taking on the project to find investors to revitalize it. So just where's everything at with this with Greenville-Pickens Speedway right now?
So I have met with the owner of the Speedway. I've known him since I was little. We get along very well, and I've had several meetings with him along with a buyer, and we have worked out an agreement that he is going to sell the Speedway to the buyer, and the developers are okay with it. Everybody is kind of in an agreement now. What they are building is strictly behind the racetrack where the fair used to go. So that doesn't really interact with the racetrack. Yes, that was some of the parking that was used, but there's also properties around that racetrack that's also available 4 acre lot, particularly that we've been looking at to also purchase for the track to have extra parking. And I've talked with businesses along that road that's right across from the street, and they're fine with us using their parking lot when needed. That back stretch is 3 levels. Some events that we would have could just use that parking lot. So, um, that really isn't an issue. But to answer your question, everybody is basically on board right now.
And I think that's kind of like one of the main hiccups I've seen a lot of people kind of like talk about. I think it was mentioned on the Dale Jr. download about the parking situation where it seems like the big concern from the outside of people is kind of like all they know about is the parking. They've heard the developers talk about it, or maybe read something online about it. So what's the myth with the parking situation, and what's the truth with the parking situation? I think that's kind of like what's throwing everybody for a loop a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah. So the racetrack is not surrounded, first of all. The buildings for the developers strictly in the back behind the racetrack where the fair used to go. The track used to still operate when the fair was like it's fine. Um, the parking that is that was like the grandstands parking. So obviously, if you parked on the back stretch, you're going to tailgate. So all of that's still there. The full back stretch, 3 levels is still there. It's huge. We do have an entrance that will be cut back through where it was. It's actually better now. That road has been widened, so it's actually better. And a road will be cut right back through down going into the pits where we always came in at. There will be an entrance to the backstretch and an entrance to get into the pit area. Just like it's always been, it's actually better and bigger now. Um,
Okay.
so the buildings, yeah, they're back there. But what I was saying about the lot earlier, so there is a lot of land to the right side of that property. And there's different people that own certain segments. So it's trees areas now, but I've reached out to like 3 or 4 grading companies that will come and grade that land free of charge. So, and I've talked to some of the owners of those properties, and they are willing to either lease the land for certain events that we would need a lot of parking, or it can be bought. So there's a lot of different ways. The community wants this racetrack, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's different than
definitely.
some. We're not fighting each other on this racetrack. This community wants this racetrack.
Yeah, and I think like we've talked about, the issue is just kind of like the help to get it and stuff. Like I've covered races this year at the at Nashville Super Speedway, not the Fairgrounds, which is having their own battle, and I hope they can win that too. But Nashville Super Speedway, where I think I sent you a picture of it that weekend, where that racetrack is a Cup Series racetrack, and it is surrounded by warehouses. The layout
Right.
looks almost similar, and
Yeah.
so there are racetracks where that's a thing that NASCAR is active at. So we saw what happened with North Wilkesboro. It was supposed to be an iRacing scan, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. went out there with a crew, and they picked out weeds and all this stuff just to scan it for iRacing, and then next thing you know, we're Cup racing there again. So what is the first step, I guess, to get Greenville-Pickens back to, I guess, a raceable racetrack where people can come and watch?
So we are looking for funding. That's the only hurdle is funding. Um, we have a team in place that's ready to go. A good promoter, great ideas. It's going to be open year round. STEM programs and concerts, festivals, racing, not just NASCAR, but different races too. We really want to have something for everybody, so that maybe if you didn't like racing, there's still something there for to do. We're also, I thought about like the big theater, outside theater situation. I would love to play Days of Thunder there, and maybe introduce the racing, industry to people that think that they may not like it, but they come out there, they park and watch this Days of Thunder. I think that would just be epic. Um, but really, the only thing we're looking for now is funding, to invest in this project and believe in this project. And that's all we need to get the ball rolling. I can call all these companies tomorrow, and they're going to come out there and ready to go.
So I think something I genuinely don't know about this, since you kind of took this on, is the track, as even if it stays in its current condition for a long time, is it saved? Like, is it like not going anywhere, or is this like a time thing where Realty Link or whoever can still come in, and Kevin Whitaker, whoever's owning it, managing it, like can they still come in and kind of like do what they want with it, or is it in sole possession of the group now?
So no, yes, I mean, if this deal doesn't work out, that track will get bulldozed down. Um, or it'll be a whole another battle, which I've kind of swore to not do anymore to get this deal to happen. Was I had to, pretty much agree to stay away and not fuss at the county anymore. So,
I
um,
didn't know that part.
yeah. So, hey, sorry, that's a dog. So I had to kind of, yeah, I had to come and say, I'll back off if you'll come to the table with an agreement for this racetrack. And so that's how it happens. That's how we've got a deal done. Is we had to quit, with the riot.
Mm.
um, yeah, now everybody is pretty much getting along good. It's going smooth. So, but yeah, this is the last like hoorah. Um, you know, he's offered. He's like, okay, here, I'll sell it to you. This is what you have. If you can make a go of it, great. Um, so, he's allowing us this time to get this together, and it's just like, we have to put our money where our mouth is. So, and that's what we need help with, So, uh, it's just the money's the only thing. But yeah, if it's not done, um, this time next year, it won't be there.
So it's basically on a year time crunch to get it kind of fully purchased, I guess.
I mean, really, like 4 months.
Ooh.
Um, 4 months. To really, you know, at least half. You know,
Mm.
um, he may would allow more time if that was done. Um, so yeah. I mean, it's crunch time, you know. So maybe a little longer than that, but not a year. I mean, you know,